Welcome to Indore, a city known for its vibrant culture and peaceful streets. Nestled in the heart of India, this city usually basks in the harmony of its bustling markets and quiet, leafy suburbs. Yet, in June 2011, this serenity was abruptly shattered, leaving the community in disbelief. The victims of this dreadful incident were none other than Mega Deshpande, a prominent businesswoman, her bright-eyed daughter Ashlesha, and the wise matriarch of their family, Rohini. Their lives, brimming with promise and affection, were cruelly cut short in a most unexpected betrayal. Imagine the scene. A typical day turned tragic as the news spread quickly from neighbor to neighbor, shaking the foundations of trust and security in this close-knit community. The city of Indore, known for its peaceful coexistence and cultural richness, found itself grappling with a stark and brutal reality. Mega Deshpande, a beacon of success, trusted the wrong person. In the bustling, opulent corridors of Indore's business district, Mega Deshpande stood out as a paragon of success. As the CEO of a thriving tech company, she was not only a visionary, but also a beloved figure in her community. Her life, a delicate balance of professional brilliance and personal happiness, was anchored by the close bonds she shared with her daughter Ashlesha and her mother Rohini. But not all was as serene as it appeared. Enter Naha Verma, Mega's colleague and confidant. To the outside observer, Naha's friendship with Mega was one of mutual respect and shared interests. They attended conferences together, shared meals, and their families mingled during festive occasions. Yet, beneath this facade of friendship, darker motives were brewing. Naha Verma, outwardly charming and reliable, harbored a deep-seated envy and greed. Despite her comfortable life, Naha's desires for wealth and luxury knew no bounds. She viewed Mega not as a friend, but as a stepping stone to a more lavish lifestyle. It was this unchecked ambition that set the stage for a chilling betrayal. As the months passed, Naha meticulously wove her web of deceit. She spent countless hours gaining Mega's trust, understanding her routines, and even her financial dealings. Behind closed doors, Naha plotted with her boyfriend Rahul and their mutual friend Manoj, forming a sinister pact to usurp Mega's assets. The plan was simple, yet diabolical. Under the guise of a business meeting, Naha would lure Mega to a secluded location. There, the trap would spring, leading to tragic consequences not just for Mega, but for her entire family. What seemed like everyday interactions were actually pieces of a larger, malevolent puzzle being put together by Naha. What seemed like a friendship was actually a meticulously planned betrayal. June 15, 2011, began like any other day for the Deshpande family. The morning was filled with the usual bustle. Breakfasts were made, plans were discussed. Mega Deshpande, a skilled executive, was preparing for an important meeting. Just hours later, the scene at the Deshpande household would turn unimaginably tragic. The orchestrator, Naha Verma, had meticulously woven her deceitful web. Known to Mega as a friend and confidant, Naha's true intentions were sinister. Her plan was set into motion when she invited Mega to a secluded location under the guise of discussing a lucrative investment opportunity. As Mega arrived, trustingly stepping into the arranged meeting spot, she was met not with a business proposal, but with her doom. Lying in wait was Rahul, Naha's accomplice and lover. With calculated coldness, he stepped forward, and in a moment that was as brief as it was brutal, he fired the shot that would end Mega's life. But the tragedy did not stop with Mega. Upon hearing the disturbance, Mega's mother, Rohini, and her young daughter, Ashlesha, rushed to the scene, only to be met with the same grim fate. Rahul, determined to leave no witnesses, mercilessly took their lives as well. In the aftermath, the silence was deafening. The home that had once echoed with the laughter of a family was now a somber scene of desolation. The bodies were discovered later that evening, painting a gruesome picture of betrayal and loss. The ripple effects were immediate and heart-wrenching. Friends, relatives, and neighbors were left grappling with the sheer unexpectedness and brutality of the crime. The city of Indore, known for its serene and peaceful ambiance, was now marked by this dark day of violence. In just a few hours, a family was destroyed, and a city was left in mourning. Leaving chaos in their wake, the perpetrators believed they had escaped. But the city of Indore, still reeling from the shock, watched as law enforcement sprang into action. The community's sense of peace was deeply fractured, but their cooperation became invaluable. As the night of the crime unfolded, the police were quick to cordon off the area. Forensic teams meticulously gathered evidence, fingerprints dusted, DNA samples collected, and security footage reviewed. Every piece of evidence added to a growing mosaic of truth. Among the chaos, a crucial slip-up by the criminals turned the tide. A hastily discarded glove, a receipt from a nearby store, and a witness's fleeting glimpse of the getaway car. These seemingly insignificant details began to form a coherent narrative for the investigators. The police worked tirelessly, their determination fueled by the community's outcry and the gruesome nature of the crime. Leads were pursued relentlessly, searches conducted around the clock. It wasn't long before the abandoned getaway car was found, hidden in an old warehouse on the outskirts of the city. From there, the digital trail led them directly to Naha, Rahul, and Manoj. Calls traced, locations pinned, each technological breadcrumb guiding the officers closer. Finally, in a dawn raid, the trio was apprehended. Stunned, caught in the act of packing up their lives to flee, they could only surrender. Justice begins its course as the culprits face the consequences of their heinous act. In the courtroom, the air was thick with anticipation and sorrow. The hallways echoed with the murmur of anxious relatives and a community seeking justice for a crime that had torn apart the fabric of their trust. During the trial, the prosecution presented a compelling array of evidence. Security footage, chilling in its clarity, captured Naha, Rahul, and Manoj plotting their escape. Forensic experts testified about the ballistic evidence linking the bullets directly to Rahul's firearm and the DNA traces that painted a gruesome picture of that fateful day. Witness testimonies added depth to the narrative, revealing the calculated deception that Naha had woven around Mega Deshpande, exploiting her trust to orchestrate the murders. The emotional testimonies from friends and family painted a vivid portrait of the victims, reminding everyone in the room of the human lives snuffed out by greed and betrayal. As the evidence mounted, the courtroom atmosphere grew heavier. Mega's husband, Naha Deshpande, sat stoically, his face a mask of grief and resilience. His presence was a silent testament to the agony of losing his family, a pain shared by the entire community that had once felt safe and secure. Finally, the judge delivered the verdict. Naha, Rahul, and Manoj were found guilty on all counts and sentenced to death. As the sentence was declared, a palpable sense of relief mixed with sorrow swept through the courtroom. It was a moment of profound gravity, marking the end of a harrowing journey towards justice. As the gavel fell, a chapter closed on a sorrowful note, but the story was far from over. As Indore tried to heal, the echoes of the tragedy lingered in every corner. The brutal loss of Mega Deshpande and her family not only devastated their loved ones, but also left an indelible mark on the fabric of the community. It served as a stark reminder of the fragility of trust and the depths to which human greed can sink. In the aftermath, a collective introspection began. How did someone as unassuming as Naha Verma orchestrate such horror? The answer lies partly in the deceptive veneer that people often wear. Naha, with her facade of innocence and reliability, exploited the trust Mega placed in her, a trust born out of years of acquaintance and seemingly benign interactions. This tragedy underscores a crucial lesson about the importance of vigilance in personal relationships. It's essential to recognize that trust should be built on consistent and honest behavior over time, and even then, it should be accompanied by a degree of caution. The signs of deceit aren't always apparent, but they often manifest in subtle inconsistencies and unexplained extravagances. Moreover, the ripple effects of this crime highlighted the need for stronger community support systems. In times of crisis, the support from one's community can provide the resilience needed to rebuild and heal. Awareness programs, community policing, and neighborhood watch initiatives could be vital in preventing such tragedies in the future. This incident also teaches us about the broader societal impacts of crime. It's not just the immediate victims and their families who suffer. The psychological and social fabric of the entire community can be affected, leading to a pervasive sense of insecurity and mistrust. In remembering the Deshpande family, let us learn to cherish trust and question motives, for the world is as complex as it is beautiful. By fostering a culture of mindfulness and mutual support, we can hope to shield our communities from the darker aspects of human nature and build a safer, more trusting society.